G'day everyone, welcome to another Tempest video. So today's video is on the announcement we just put out, and the topic of that is our 100% owned Range project, which is located in the Mount Magnet district. Some of you may have heard me speak about this sparingly in the past, and I guess this project has taken second fiddle to larger things we've been doing, for example at Yalgoo, but in the background this has been a slow burner or a silent assassin, depending on which metaphor you want to chuck at it today. But the Range project is a great one, and that's a good start point to get into the announcement. At the top, we've got our summary, and if we scroll down here a little bit, we can see there's a bit of the background about the project, for those of you who are unfamiliar. We haven't focused on this in terms of news flow in the past, but that's because in some ways it's pretty common sense in that this is a very strategic holding. On one side we've got multi-billion-dollar market cap company Ramelius Resources, and on the other side we've got Genesis Resources, and those two projects are at a confluence and at a juncture in the middle of our project, both corporately and geologically. If we scroll down a bit further here, we zoom right in onto the northern part of the project. So some people may have heard me speak about in the past that here in the northern part of the project there's a whole stack of historical workings, old mine shafts and this kind of thing, that some of those weren't on any of the government records. They are on other records that we've managed to dig up, and if you go and look at these places, the waste dumps have gold in there, as 1 or 2 grams in the waste dumps. So there's definitely mineralization around here and a fair bit of it. What I haven't spoken a lot about is, if we go down here further, you see where my mouse is, you can see that this is an old open pit called Britannia. And this was mined about 10 or 15 years ago and got a couple 100,000 ounces out of it, so it's non-trivial, and the grade was about 2 grams. And here's some UAV imagery of the pit, and you can check out the picture at the bottom of the announcement, which has got our tenement boundary essentially right up against the pit there. Backtracking just a moment, this announcement also talks about some of the background geology of the Range project, and going down a little bit further we see that there's a discussion about how our team has spent a bunch of time reconstructing this geology this year, and as what often happens when you do this is you find that things don't always quite sit right geometrically, and that's certainly the case here, where we've found a number of the important geological units just seem to disappear on the historical maps, but we didn't think they did in reality. So we went out there and we did some mapping, and in a couple of those places, lo and behold, we found exactly what we thought should be there. And on top of that, we found, and here's a picture of one of those very juicy outcrops. There's some beautiful blue and white quartz there, and it's completely stacked full of tourmaline. Some of you may ask, what's the importance of tourmaline? Well, apart from it being a semi-precious stone back in the old times, it's also an indicator that you're at the top of a hydrothermal gold system, and certainly that's what this looks like here with this wonderful outcrop. And guess what? This Britannia pit I mentioned earlier, that's only a few hundred meters away, and has exactly the same mineralization, the same kind of alteration, this tourmaline, all through it. So we're pretty chuffed that we might be onto something there, so we grabbed a sample and bang, it's got gold in it. It's got this particular outcrop has a gram in the rock chip we took, and there's several other that have gold in them as well, along strike. And if we follow this, that's the dotted line, you can see that that's indicating there the where we think this mineralization has gone. Dare I say, many of you will predict this, we're pretty excited about it. We're putting together a bunch more work and some follow-up field work and potential drilling that'll be happening next year. So stay tuned here on the Tempest channel, and Until then, I look forward to speaking to you again in another video real soon.